to how space may be gendered. Okay, so don't worry about all the dates. It's simply to give you an idea of what all that is happening, not only in the world, but in women's rights. So go ahead and direct your attention to the arrows above. So all the way from the 1950s to into the 2000s and present day, the top paying and the top paying job for women is being a secretary. And that has not changed since 1950. It's the most popular job for women since the 1950s. That's a long, long time. Look at how many events have happened since, we've been secretaries. Since the 50s, that's insane. Also, go ahead and think about where you think of a secretary in a room. Where are secretaries in businesses? Where are teachers in businesses? Where are bank tellers? Where do you see them? So teachers are at the front of the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Secretaries are in the front of the business. Who do you walk in to see? You see a secretary in front of a big business building. Sales clerks, who do you see them as soon as you walk into the supermarket? Same as teachers, they stand in the front. Bookkeepers, same thing, they're right there in the front. Administrative assistants, teachers, nurses. Where's the nurses station at? It's in the middle of the, hospital. You can see them. They're always present. So we wanted to go ahead and look into that. So our topic is how women are positioned in the workplace. And our claim is women are put in physical positions in the workplace. So we wanted to go ahead and look into why.
Okay, so we're doing the early histories, 1950s. It said majority of women worked in domestic jobs, and most women who earned wages were unmarried or widowed or separated. And so basically we're saying that teaching was considered a natural extension of women's caretaking nature. So basically, like, most women back in the 1950s were either teachers or they were nurses. And then it was one of the few respected jobs women could have. It says women lack of access to higher education excluded them from well-paid and high-status jobs. Even though in this occupation is a woman's dominant field, men were still paid more, which was like nursing and stuff. Among 2 million registered nurses, only 10% are men, according to 2013 data. Okay, and so these are like pictures of women back in the early history. And then we have nurses, teachers, and secretaries.
Okay, so women were outnumbered men in executive, administrative, and managerial. I don't know how to say that, but it's managers, accountants, and buyers. So more than 350,000 women stayed working in lower-paying administrative jobs such as secretaries and clerks, but women barely entered manufacturing jobs in the late 1970s. So they stayed in those kind of smaller position jobs, and the presence of black women jumped in the workforce in the 1980s by 45%. So more African American women started entering like the manufacturing jobs by the 1980s. So what was that? What did you say that was? Okay, so we have some pictures of assembly lines, those two down there, and then that's just like a picture of like an accountant.
Okay, so this is a present history, 2000 to now. And it said about 4 million workers in the United States fell under the category of secretaries and administrative assistants between 2006 and 2010. 96 of them were women. And then administrative assistants were very well continue to be the top job of women in 2020. It says the category will grow about 12% between 2010 to 2020. Across all industries and occupation, full-time female workers earn 78 cents to every dollar a man earned in 2010. Full-time female secretaries and administrative assistants earn an average salary of $34,304 in 2010. For men, it was $39,641. And that's like a picture of from the 1950s to 2010, and it really hasn't changed. That's still one of the top jobs that work today.
We see women in the visible location of the the restaurant, be it servers, hostess, bartenders, because of their nurturing nature and because they're more visibly appealing to the broader audience. We see them in the front because they're more attentive accordingly to men, supposedly they are. But you see them as nurses because of their caring nature and all that. How is it portrayed now?
Alright, so I don't know if any of y'all watch Grey's Anatomy, but okay, so the doctor, like in the very center, his name is Alex Grove, that doesn't really matter, but he's he's working on that patient in the front. He's like the center of attention, and then behind him we have the two women. So you can see that they're still working on the patient and they're visible, but they're not as important as the male in that picture. And then this one's close. Oh, okay, yeah. And she also did mention that the prettier woman is more towards the front, so she's right behind him, and then the older one is like right in the back. So.
And then of course you have the male nurse way in the back of the photo, because you know he's not just apparently. So then we went, and have any of you watched Scrubs before? Okay, well he's got it. It's kind of a spoof of a doctor show. It could be a spoof of like Grey's Anatomy or House or something along the lines of that. But when you look at this photo, also you see where is the pretty doctor at? She's at the front, right? But who's in the middle? The male, right? Where are the African American people at? They're in the back. Yep. Pretty much.
And then we go to House, which, how many of you seen House?
Great show.
Well, you see, House is kind of a misogynist, so he kind of disrespects women a lot. And even though you guys know she's the boss, he's actually in the front. He's portrayed in the front, and all the nurses are in the back. And he, most of the time, disobeys her to the point of getting put in prison for his disobedience.
Okay, so in The Office, for the first couple of seasons, until they get overmarried and stuff, they get prettier people in there. But Pam is she's the only like really pretty one there. She's the secretary, so she's up in the front and she's actually greeting people, answering the phones, and she's off to the side kinda, and Michael's in the middle, so he's the main one, but still Pam is the the center of attention in the office.
Okay, so our videos are not working, so we're gonna actually take you to
Okay.
First, yeah. Okay, so he doesn't. Just,
Oh, this is ready at 1:30.
I'll explain it after. Just watch it.
Dead. Just breathe.
4 units of blood.
Scalp flat. Probably multiple fractures. Try and hold still.
Bill, MVA has been extricated. Positive loss of consciousness at the scene. Floyd response to PCS 10.
What's your name, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Loss of verbal skills. Possible bleeding in the brain.
Pupils are equal and reactive.
Good sign. Still should get a
He's
CT.
got a flail chest in the right. I need a 36 French tube now. Sir, can you tell me your name?
He's still hypertensive and tachycardia after 2 fluid boluses.
Any bleeding in his chest? Take 2 units of blood on the infuser. I need a trauma panel, an x-ray, and conference report. Can somebody page surgery again?
She's smart. I like her.
I'm sorry. This is gonna hurt, but we have to do it. Mr. Hurt, I'm sorry. Can you please tell me your name? Can you tell me anything?
I'm going to the bathroom.
Ask a nurse where it is.
Alpha.
Yeah, right there.
Motoring a head CT. We don't know the extent of his head injury.
She's right. You don't.
Look at the ultrasound. He's bleeding into his belly. We don't have time for a CT.
Arrogant. Because she's younger than you, and probably because she's a
I
woman.
just think that
We don't have time for a CT. He needs to go straight to the OR.
Okay, so in that scene, you can see that when he first gets there, she's asking him all the questions, what's your name, blah, 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 and she's trying to make him feel comfortable even though he's in pain. And then he even states in his mind, but he even states that she's like trying to help him out, get him a CT, get the more important stuff done before they actually take him to surgery, and the male nurse ignores her. So he's basically trying to get all the work done by himself and ignoring her, and he pays the price, so he ends up dying. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, maybe. There we go. Okay, so basically we wanted to know why the top job for women hasn't changed in the past. Well, because we can pay women lower wages. Pretty much get away with it. Also, in 1950, schools offered professional training. We didn't have to go to school full-time, have that full expense of a college education. So women who had kids, who were working, who had other stuff to do, could go and get an education, make more money for easier. You know, the title has now evolved. We're receptionists now. There's assistants, administrative assistants, but we're all secretaries, pretty much. And now the number is women outnumber men in the field 20 to 1, which is pretty extensive. And so I hope that you guys learned today, you know, that women are put in visible positions because, you know, not only they're aesthetically pleasing and we feel that they are more nurturing than a man would be in certain situations, but also that space is gendered and that for some reason that has not been changing and will continue not to change until 2020.
Right. Let me pause for just a second. We'll resume momentarily.